Good afternoon, everyone. I hope everybody is doing okay. Here I am walking down to the greenhouse again, and just a couple days ago it was almost 80 degrees here. I'm in a coat now and it's in the low 40s. Don't need this kind of weather right now. Anyway, let's go take a look at the plants. Michelle transplanted some plants today. I need to fix this door. There we go, there's all Michelle's flowers. I think she's going to have to wait a while to transplant these, and I think she's going to do it in big bunches. These are the seeds that Michelle replanted for me. I think these are cucumbers and, oh wait a minute, yeah, cucumbers. I thought something else was coming up. Oh yeah, here we go. What is that? That's zucchini squash right there. There's the tomatoes that I transplanted the other day. Here's all the little guys over here coming up from the first batch. That's good. We got a lot of tomatoes coming up. And I think those are sweet peppers. Awesome. Everything's looking really good. Very happy about this. We start out with just a couple of these plants in these little cells, and then we transplant them into these bigger containers, and before you know it, this whole greenhouse is going to be filled with stuff. It's already taken up a lot more room than it did the other day. I wanted to come over to this peach tree to show you guys some of the blooms on this. I'm not sure I'm actually going to get any peaches though. I've been having a lot of trouble with this tree. We get something called, I think, brown rot. And you have to spray it with a chemical, which I don't really like doing. I've tried a bunch of different organic methods and it just doesn't work. And with all the stuff going on, I needed to spray these for the first time before the buds opened up. And as you can see, buds are opened up. I don't know, maybe I should try to pay more attention to this year, because maybe this is going to be our only food supply. What's in the yard? I hope not. Boy, I hope not. I think it's time to cook some dinner. Get out of my kitchen. Careful with them.
Look at the little babies. Yes, you can't put this up on air.
Why, not enough room? What? Oh, it's too late. I'm just going to tell everybody you're going to go play poker. Okay, time to make dinner. Making barbecued chicken breast.
Boring.
Yes, it is boring. These are pre-packaged, and I'm just going to flatten them out a little bit. Or as I like to say, yummify them. I actually don't say that. That was awfully small. If you want really delicious chicken breast that isn't tough, pounding it out makes a huge difference in the taste and the texture. Well, maybe not the taste, but definitely the texture. Perfect. Make sure you clean up the counter after you're finished, and the meat tenderizer. Who's getting sick of washing their hands every 5 minutes? Salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, both sides. Alright, got the grill up to about 550 degrees. It'd be really awesome if we can get more comments in the comments section. I love talking to you guys. Alright, we got our chicken over here. Someday I'll figure this gimbal out. And skin side down, even though it doesn't have skin. First one. Second one. And the third one. Michelle's cooking up some lima beans to go with the barbecue chicken. Alright. Uh-oh. That chicken breast looks like it came from a pigeon. And if it didn't come from a pigeon, the chicken was extremely underaged. Time for some barbecue sauce. Okay, so currently I'm using this Heinz barbecue sauce, Kansas City style, sweet and smoky. Today is the last day of not doing keto. Tomorrow we're back to keto. We have to be back to keto tomorrow. Have to be. We have to stop eating all of this sugar. Well, I thought I hit the record button, but I didn't. And you know what? It's getting very windy, so there's going to be wind noise in this now. Oh my gosh. Yes, it's missing the handle. I don't know where the handle went, but it still works. Man, doesn't that look good? That is if you like barbecue chicken. Yum. Let's eat.
Okay, so this is dinner. And here's some applesauce from 2017. I think we'll survive.
Maybe.
And then the yummy, yummy lima beans. Look, I wanted you to see what sprouted last night. Look at all the, where are they? Cucumbers. Let's peek inside. There they are, little cucumbers. And see the little flower part? It's shaped just like the seed was. Fascinating. And then we have some zucchini popping up. So cute.
Doesn't that look awesome? Well, I think today we're going to try to fix this shelf. Yeah, let's see if we can get this fixed. Just going to use one of these little zip tie holders. What? I'm not filming. Yeah, it wouldn't be too bad. Alright, so after the camera overheated a couple of times, we got the stuff hooked up, everything's What you doing, Shell?
Digging my grave.
Actually, what she's doing is our sidewalk has sunken in a bit over the years, so we're gonna do a little experiment. We're gonna try to raise this thing up. Not today, probably, but she's getting the holes dug.
And it's so easy.
Yes, it's nothing but solid rock. While she's finishing that up, I'm going to go mow the lawn.
Who's doing the hard work, we'll go ride the lawnmower.
It gets very windy all of a sudden when I start shooting. She wanted to do this. I'm going to do the engineering.
I wanted the project done. Why does that mean I have to do the hard work?
You don't have to. I said I was going to dig it up, and then you took the shovel and took control. Alright, so we were having battery problems with the camera when we were doing the stuff in the greenhouse. So I just got a new battery and I mowed the lawn. I need to pick up the grass there with the lawn sweeper, but I wanted to show you guys the shelf. There it is. All secured again with zip ties. It's actually a lot better than it used to be. I'm quite happy with it. And I also put a cinder block under this rain barrel. So I think that we're going to start using that. I'm going to fill it up with water from the house so we don't have to keep running back and forth. Here's some Shell's plants. It's an update. There's our little cherry tomato plants. They're looking pretty good. This is the first batch of my seeds that actually all are coming out. Cantaloupe, bell peppers. I think those are still the cherry tomatoes, and these are the better boys. So they all came out. Well, most of them except two, so that's fine. And zucchini squash, cantaloupe. That's still kind of having some problems. Or wait a minute, no, that's cantaloupe. I don't know what that is. Maybe that is cantaloupe that Michelle replanted. It is. And we got some more tomatoes. Oh, California Wonder. These are the peppers. And these are our other plants. The flowers. And I didn't want to bore you guys with all the details. But if anybody's ever interested in how this works, they have a couple of procedures that you can use for lifting sidewalks. But what we actually did is we dug out on both sides of the sidewalk here, and then I got a jack here and a jack here, and I got two C-clamps and a board and some eye hooks, bolted those to the board, and then we actually just jacked up both sides. It lifted the sidewalk up, and then to keep it from falling back down, we put some high density foam underneath, and then we let it down, and it actually worked. So this part of the sidewalk is all level now, and we actually have a smaller step because this had fallen down about 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches, probably closer to 2 inches. But now we've got to fix this remaining part over here, which actually had cracked along the expansion joint. And you can see we've actually lifted this up quite a bit. So this slab here, we're going to have to lift from this side, put some foam under it, and then the whole sidewalk should be level. Should be. And actually, if you look at our driveway here, this side is actually sticking up higher than that side. Oops. Than that side right there. So if we lift this side up, this side should come down, I hope. But maybe it won't. Maybe there's a lot of stuff shoved under here. Then we might have an issue where we have to dig under on this side to get it to go down when this side comes up. But anyway, that's what we've been working on today during our quarantine. And yes, I did run to the store to get some chain and one more C-clamp because I didn't have a C-clamp, and the high density foam. We got the high density foam at Lowe's. It was $20 for a 4x8 sheet. It's 1 inch thick. They also sell 2 inch thick. We thought that the 2 inch thick would be too big, and this was actually easy to maneuver and shove the stuff in there. But it's actually quite sturdy. I'm going to wait for it to settle. This corner here bouncing a little bit. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's bouncing a little bit. So what we'll probably wind up doing is digging this side out right here, and then putting some foam in here to lift this side up a little bit, or at least support it. Because when we lifted everything up, this whole part came up. But so far we're real happy with it. I have to see if it holds up for the next couple days and weeks, months. But this foam is supposed to last a lot longer than the squirt-in foam, because sometimes you can have somebody come drill holes in your sidewalk and then they pump the liquid foam in and it lifts it up that way. But that stuff only lasts, I heard, about 5 or 10 years, and then it starts disintegrating and then your sidewalk starts going down again. This stuff is supposed to last forever. Thank God for plastic. Boy, this vlog is all over the place, isn't it? Well, now we're driving down the road, coming back from a supermarket that sells basically natural foods. But anyway, apparently, Michelle just told me that there's an arsonist that's running around our area, burning barns down. And as we were leaving to go to this place, we passed 2 barns that were smoldering, and it's pretty close to our house, so that's a bit concerning, and we're driving back in that direction. If they still are smoldering, I will show you guys what an arsonist has done. Possibly, but more than likely it's 2 farms right next to each other, and the coincidence there is high. Low coincidence. It's high coincidence. Okay, real quick, after some debate, let's just say it's a high probability that an arsonist started both of these fires. Hey, check out that old school building right there. All right, so we're coming up on the first farm here, I think. I'd be very concerned if this was my barn here, because, okay, it wasn't that one. Yeah. Yeah, there's the first one right there.
The Warners.
Yeah.
Church with us.
Yep. And then here's the other one right here. I mean, what are the odds, really? And that was a huge barn right there. It's all just totally destroyed. Look at that. Boy, I tell you, this vlog is all over the place. Well, now we're going to be cooking dinner, and I got Michelle back here dicing up some onions for me. Today we're going to be making barbecue, or as she likes to call it, Sloppy Joe. What do you guys call it? Leave a comment below.
I am professionally trained.
So this recipe is incredibly easy to make. It only has a couple of ingredients. You need ground beef, you need some oil, some onions that are diced, as well as red wine vinegar, some sugar, and ketchup, and mustard. First thing we want to do is turn on the heat. Going to add about a tablespoon of coconut oil. You can use whatever kind of oil you want. Then to that we are going to add about 1/4 of a large onion. About that much. So we're gonna brown these onions. Not too much, just kind of like get them translucent, maybe a little bit brown. Probably want to cover that with a lid. Turn the heat down a little bit.
Sounds scary.
This is actually the hardest part of the recipe, is browning the onions and chopping them up. This is actually an awesome recipe that you can use at home or like when you're camping. It makes a great camping dinner. Especially if you have a slow cooker, you can kind of do everything in a slow cooker and then just set it aside and just let it boil away for a couple hours, and you come in and you can eat. All right, I think this is cooked enough. It's actually starting to brown. Next, we're going to take 2 pounds of ground beef. We ground this ourselves, ground chuck. Just goes right in. And we're just going to brown it. Oops. I just flung ground beef everywhere.
I mean, I love when he cooks. I don't want to.
I need a bigger spoon. Turn the heat up a little bit. Let that brown. And actually, the big ingredient for this is ketchup. We're probably going to use an entire bottle, and then what's left of this, and then we're probably out of ketchup, right? That's it. We have no more ketchup in the quarantine zone. And then we're going to add to taste some red wine vinegar, a little bit of mustard, and we're going to put some salt and pepper into the ground beef now. Almost forgot about that. I'm just kind of eyeing it. That's probably about a half a teaspoon, quarter teaspoon pepper, roughly. Okay, now we're just going to let that brown, and once that's brown, we'll add the ketchup. All right, now that the ground beef is brown, we're going to drain off the grease. Take this over to the stove. See if I can do this without burning myself. It's really hot. Okay. It's super hot. It's hot. Here we go. We're getting the grease out of the pot. That should be enough. Put it back on the stove.
Can't do it all in one fell swoop.
Sure you can. Hey, Alton Brown and his wife did an entire vlog live streaming making dinner. We should be able to do that. All right, so it's now all browned up. In goes the ketchup. And it's going to be a lot of ketchup for 2 pounds of ground beef. This one is 30 ounces, 38 ounces. I'm going to kind of eye it and see what this looks like. I might be adding more. Alright, so next we're going to put in the mustard. Just a little bit. And then some more, or some red wine vinegar. And that's basically the consistency that you want right there. I'll probably wind up adding more red wine vinegar to this, but I'm going to let this cook for a little bit and then I'm going to add sugar to it. Turn the heat down. Alright, this has been cooking for a little bit, probably about 10 minutes. I mean, 2 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and add some sugar to this. That's about a 1/4 cup, I'd say. I'll start with that. This dish by no means is low carb. It has a lot of carbs from the ketchup and from the sugar. And you can make this as sweet as you'd like, but the sugar has to offset the red wine vinegar, which is very important, I think, to the flavor. Alright, so I'm going to turn down the heat here and then just let it simmer probably for about 20 to 25 minutes with a lid on. Alright, it's been about 20 minutes now, and I'm going to taste it real quick, see if I need to add anything else to it. Oops, got a spoon here. What it looks like. It's good, but it needs a little more sugar. And again, you don't have to add all this sugar if you don't want to. It's really a taste thing, and the same goes for the vinegar as well. I like to serve this with a potato roll and actually some Utz sour cream and onion potato chips, but we don't have any, unfortunately. But we are going to serve it with some homemade garlic pickles. We made these last summer and they are delicious. Well, that's going to do it for this vlog. I know it's been a couple of days we've been jumping all around, and we're actually going to jump around one more time. We're going to finish this day out with a movie, and if you've watched all the way to this point, be sure to check out our channel later this evening. We're going to be doing a live stream at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I don't know what the topic's going to be. Should be a lot of fun though, so please be sure to check it out. And thanks a lot, guys. Please stay well, stay safe. If you like this video, please be sure to hit the like button and also consider subscribing to our channel. Thanks for watching.